Okay. So just two things before starting. Um, you you can find I'm going to share with you the presentation. Today we are not going to talk about the structure of the program itself, but about the admission path. With me, and later on I will introduce you. You can see two students. They are student ambassador, and they will help me and they will help you with the requirements and everything regarding admission. So regarding the platform, please, if you have any question, use the Q&A part. We are not going to check the chat because it's impossible to manage the question you have. Please try not to repeat many times the same question. So because we don't have much time, we have less than 1 hour. If you then have any other question, you will find all the contacts at the end of the presentation. You can send us an email as me, student ambassador, if you want to, and other colleagues of the other campuses. So before asking a question, just wait until the end of the presentation because we will try to reply to all the doubts you may have. Okay, I'll share the presentation with you. And then hope we have time. I'm going to show you how the website is structured, because most of the information we are going actually to talk about in those webinars, you can find them in the website. Okay. Perfect. So before starting, we just really quick introduce ourselves. I'm Adriano Sorgente, work in the recruitment office. I'm in charge of the recruitment and the mail, and mail you and reply to all the questions you have about the school. And I work for the Turin campus. With me, two student ambassadors. I let them introduce. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Rutuja Abande. I'm from India. Before joining the MEM, I completed my bachelor's in business administration from NMIMS University. I was working for a couple of years and now I'm currently in the Berlin campus for my SEM 1. For SEM 2, I'll be moving to Madrid for my specialization in digital project management. And I'll be happy to help you with all your questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Zheng, and I come from Hong Kong, and I'm currently in the Turin campus. The second semester, I'll be going to the I'll be staying in Turin as well, but for the investment banking specialization. So if you have any questions regarding this specialization and questions about the Turin campus, feel free to reach out to me via email or maybe other channels. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Let's go on with the presentation. We are this is like the lineup. So we are going to talk about eligibility, admission process, and so on. So let's start about in general the requirements. To be eligible for the MEM, you need a bachelor degree or master degree in any field of study. It's not necessary for you to holding the bachelor degree while are you applying. You can you have time until November to get it, November 25 in this specific case, so the November where you start the master. You'll need an English certificate if you haven't been studying in English during your bachelor degree in an English-speaking country, but we are going to deepen everything. Obviously, we'll take in consideration your grades and your experiences. Everything you have done, like working, studying outside, or additional languages will be considered as a plus. There are actually two different. I just want to tell you something more about this because we also have a pre-master year, which is specifically for students who haven't who are holding 120 CTS, the first and the second year of university done, and they can also apply to the pre-master without a degree, actually. So you can also apply to ESCP through the pre-master year, not holding a bachelor degree. So if you want to deepen this particular program, I'm in charge of the pre-master year, so you can send me an email directly. And I will give you all the information, but you will find at the end of the presentation my email, okay? So there are two different, actually, path and channel to apply. Actually more, but if you have studied in France, I'll show you later on the website. You will find two different part in the website. If you have done your previous studies in France, or if you have done your previous studies outside France. So those there are two different and separated paths. Okay, so I'm receiving some questions. Okay, I just show you the two paths. So if you have studied outside France during your bachelor, you can apply to the direct admission, which is the one personally I manage for Turing Campus. Personally, the team, but the Turing Campus is managing the ESCP direct admission. Instead, the Join a School in France is managed outside, so it's not managed directly by ESCP. The difference between those two channels is that Join a School in France, you are going to apply to 5 different business schools. Instead, the ESCP direct admission is only for ESCP. The difference between them is that if you are not evaluated by Paris campus, you can do our substitute test instead of the GMAT, the GRE or the Tajmaj. Instead, for the Join a School in France, you need it. It's mandatory. We are going to deepen today specifically the direct admission. The direct admission is I'm trying to not to stay too much on the slides because I want to discuss with you the question you may have. Okay, so I try to go a little bit quick. This is the timeline. So there is an application you must complete online, a profile review. So we will check your documents and we will see everything you have done. So like grades, experiences, and so on. Then there is the entrance test. So there is the interview and the SHL test if you haven't submit the GMAT or the GRE. So, but yeah, a test. And then the juries, where we evaluate all the candidates together, so done by Paris. Paris will collect all the candidates from every campus, and you will receive an email. Later on, I'll show you the calendar on the website because there are some differences between dates, not the final dates, so not the results, but for the interview and for the application deadline, we have some differences. It depends on the campus. And then there is the enrollment, where you must pay the deposit, and after paying the deposit, you are officially enrolled in the program. So here you can find all the documents you need to apply, okay? A scanner passport of your passport or ID card, a transcript of records. It's not necessary the one official. You can also download it from your intranet of the university, and the enrollment letter, so that states that you are enrolled in that program. A curriculum. We are going to. I'll give you some advices later about the curriculum. An English certification if you haven't been studied in English for 3 years during your university, but in an English-speaking country. So, for example, I studied in Italy in English. Is it valid, the exemptions? No, because it's not an English-speaking country. Below, you can find all the minimum required score. So obviously, those are the minimum. So it's important to guys, I just stop you because I'm receiving a lot of questions, for example, on how to write a good motivational letter. Just keep all the question for the end of the presentation, okay? Because in the next slides we will see in some details about the cover letter, okay? So here you can find the minimum required score. You need all the documents at the time of while are you closing the application online. So to close your application, you need all those documents. Then a GMAT, GRE, Tajmaj, or SHL, the diploma, which is only for the pre-master year students, and a motivational letter. Optional, if you have, you can upload your reference or your reference letter from both academic or professional. So I just stop a little bit here because I want to have the feedbacks of our two student ambassador about their application. So can you give us some information on how you apply and so I leave the floor to you. If you want to give some advices, okay, everything you want to share for now.
All right, I can go first.
Yeah, just few words.
Okay, so I applied directly to ESCP because I do want to mention that there's no specific preference that ESCP gives if you apply directly or if you go via join the school in France, but you have to choose either of the one. You cannot go by both routes. I chose the direct one. Talking about my overall application, I gave my GMAT. I scored 640. I would like to share some of the mistakes that I did so that you can learn from it. At that time, I did not manage my time well, even during the exam and while I was preparing for it. I was working at that time, and I applied in round 3, and I knew that I wanted to submit my application in this round because not just that round 4 the chances of getting admission it becomes difficult, but also because since I come from India, the visa process and everything is a huge troublesome process. So you might want to make sure that you plan your admission process in such a way that everything goes smoothly. Personally, for me, I had to wait for 2-3 months for my visa slot as well. So this is just a tip. If you are sure that you can give your GMAT and you can prepare your application in the coming few months, then try to give it as soon as possible and submit the application. Don't wait till the end moment.
Okay, Kevin, would you like to share something?
Sure. So I actually applied through the SAI channel, and so it was like apply directly ordered to 5 skills, and I did do the GMAT. I had a score of around 617. It wasn't outstanding, and but also got like a GPA score that was maybe just 2.8, and it wasn't like very flattering. But beside that, I actually have worked 3 years in Hong Kong, so I actually also had a role that was very entrepreneurial. So I think what ESCP value is more about you having a holistic profile, and you also have exactly the spirit, the mindset that business school like ESCP wants. So at the end, you don't need to be focusing too much on just the GMAT score. You should be thinking more about like how you can distinguish yourself with different experience, and that way I think you can have a fair chance at getting into ESCP. I applied in the second round of SAI, so around maybe December, and I think it was a pretty good timing as well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We go on, and then I will call you again. So during the application form, you must talk about one international experience, one work experience, and one and some extracurricular activities. So those are 200 words essays where you have the possibility to share what you have done. But this is something you will find during the admission process online. So as I told you before, here we are going to deepen a little bit how to write a good personal statement, a good cover letter, a good motivational letter. Okay, so don't be in a rush. So give yourself plenty of time to do it. And try not to go over one page, okay? The best personal statements adopt a positive, enthusiastic tone, okay? So try to be passionate of your life. I mean, of you are applying to a business school, you're applying to, but those are general advices. So you're applying to something you're probably interested in. So try to be enthusiastic, and this is important when the reader, which is who is an admission manager, a manager, or a CEO, will read it. Don't use obviously the same statement for every course. Sometimes we receive cover letters with other, for example, university. So pay attention not to do it, and try to write different cover letters. And if you are not happy of your personal statement, just redraft. It's not a problem. Maybe you can ask friend or family member or classmates to read your statement and to give you advices if it's everything clear. I just highlighted 3 important things. So don't follow an online template. So if you want to find some advices or some suggestions, you can obviously read other statement online. Don't lie or exaggerate. Don't do it, because it will be I mean, we will see it during the interview. And don't repeat information that we can find elsewhere in your application. Okay. Curriculum. We don't care if it's Europass, if it's one page, like classic one page with picture, without picture, is not a problem. We want a clear and clean CV. We are going to evaluate you with your academic grades, your professional, your international, and your extracurricular experiences. So it's important that your CV is structured as follow. It doesn't matter if it's first international or first work experience and then academic. It doesn't matter the order. But those 4 elements are evaluated during your profile, in your profile, actually. So this is important. And then obviously you can add like some extra some extra information. For example, if you have done some important activities, sport, or other languages, for example. Okay, so and try to write it in one page. This is important. As I told you before, we have a personal interview. We didn't speak about the weight of every part of the application. So there is the most important part is the profile review. So you must be accepted to which is the main part, because with the profile you are accepted to the next test, for example, the interview or the SHL or other. So it is the 40% of the total. Then there is the interview, which is the 30%. The 20% is given by the English certification, and the 10% is given by the GRE, GMAT, or SHL. Pay attention that the SHL, if you are going to attend the SHL, if you're going to apply with the SHL is always organized later, so after the application process. So it's not something you have you need while applying. So what about the personal interview? Oops, sorry. We are going to evaluate the interest in our school, in our program. So be prepared on the structure of the program. This is important. We want motivated students, so be motivated. This is another really important thing. Obviously, we want students that are interested in what they are doing. We also will ask you about motivation questions. So where do you see yourself in 10 years, for example? What do you want to do later? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to study next? Where do you want to work next? So all those kind of questions can be a part of the interview. We also want students that are updated on current events. So don't read newspaper, for example, be updated on everything that is happening in the world, because we can also ask you to discuss about some current event topics. So students, let's start now from Kevin. Can you tell us the experience you had with your interview, please?
Yeah, it was with several people, one of them being a CEO of a certain company, and another one being a member of the committee for the Paris Olympic Games. So it was kind of interesting. So before the interview, I prepared quite diligently about my weaknesses. I think it's very important to look at your weaknesses and be honest about them and prepare for them, so that you're confident in the interview, why you didn't do something or why you decided to do something according to your CV. And I also looked into news that impacted my work. At that time, there was news about the French going on strike, impacting the food supply chain. And back in Hong Kong, I was actually like in the supermarket helping the company to develop a French market for the food. And I was actually impacted by that news. I really prepared for it, understood the context, and they asked me about it. So they will ask you having questions with the news. I would say like you don't have to be reading them constantly, but at least like maybe prepare reading the news 1 month in advance, just know what's happening. And thirdly, I think the most important thing is show a lot of confidence. Show that you're like sort of like an entrepreneur, that you know how to take initiatives. And that's basically, I think, the most important 3 elements that helped me like go through the interview and got a pretty good impression. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
In my interview, it was quite similar to Kevin's as well, but since I applied directly, I had two interviews. One was a very senior alumni, and the other was a PhD professor, I believe. I would like to stress this point that it was not a stress interview. They want to know who you are as a person and if you'll be able to fit into the culture of ESCP. The entire motive is to understand what your goals are and how ESCP would be able to help you achieve those goals. And of course, if you are a good fit for ESCP as well, it's a two-way street. So some of the questions that I was asked were about how will I be able to contribute to ESCP and what are my goals and how can ESCP help achieve them. Then you have to of course go through your CV and motivation letter in detail as well, because they can pick any points from there and then they can ask you to go and elaborate more about it. They want to know what was the entire purpose of, if you did something, if you worked in a team, what did you do, how did you make something happen for your clients. They want to understand the exact reasoning behind it. And I would also suggest and recommend that you make sure that you have certain points that are not in your CV, so that I'm pretty sure they do ask these questions at the end, that is there something that you haven't already shared, or if there's something that's not on your CV that you would like to share. So make sure that you're also prepared for those questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. So here are other tips on how can you be prepared. So don't be so here you have everything I told you before. So and that's actually something that even our student ambassador told you. Here's some additional tips. Okay, so what to do and what actually not to do. Okay, so dress to impress, so not being too casual, but it's not a gala, so don't worry about it. But not too casual. Be technically prepared. Natural eye contact, so don't do like this. Don't move with your chair like this. Okay, try to stay great. Okay, try not to use your smartphone. Try to use your computer, your laptop, but not the smartphone, because sometimes it's not nice. And obviously, what all the things you don't have to do. Okay, so you can read them. So adjust your camera's viewing angle. Just look that you are in a good background, so in a place where you feel nice. The interview will last around 25-30 minutes in general. Try to have the light from aside and not behind. So everything obviously probably you are used to. Okay. As I told you before, we are different campuses. We manage different countries. So if the most important thing is not the country of residence itself, but if you are currently, for example, in an exchange, I just do the Italian example. So Italian students are managed by Turin. But if an Italian student is studying, for example, in Barcelona, okay, for a semester, and he decided to apply, if decides to apply while he's studying in Barcelona, his application will be managed by my Spanish colleagues, okay? The same, if a Spanish student is studying in Italy for a semester and he decides to apply, his application will be managed by Turing Campus. So the important thing is, where are you located at the moment where you send the application? Okay. Here you can find all the contacts. So if you exactly know that you are managed by, for example, Madrid or Berlin, you can contact them directly. If you are not sure about who is the campus who manage your application, I'll show you how to figure it out. So the presentation is is almost finished. I want, before your questions, I want to show you how the website is structured, because you can find a lot of this information on the website. So give me 1 second. I just opened the website, and I come back to you. Give me 1 second, sorry. It's opening the browser. Okay, so meanwhile, okay. Okay, I'm going to share the website. Okay, so this is the main web page. Once you are here, you click on programs and training. Here you can find all the programs: bachelor, pre-master year, mastery management, master of sciences, and so on. Let's click on mastery management. We scroll down and we find the overview. So the overview of the program. Then the curriculum. Okay, we are already registered. Actually, we are attending this. Okay, so the curriculum here. In this page, you will find courses, specializations, and thematic seminars, sorry. Core courses, the catch-up courses, and the specialization we have. So we also have the syllabi. So if you click on syllabi, you will be sent to this button where you can find all the specialization we have with some details on it. The outline, okay? Once you are a student, you can obviously see the complete syllabus, so with all the courses, hours, and credits. But for now, you can only see the structure of the course and the outline and the summary of the course. Really important, not all the specialization are kept in the same semester, so pay attention. Some are in the spring semester and some other in the fall semester. Perfect. Let's move on. Here you can find some data and information about the careers, but the most important part is this one, so the admission part. Here you can start your application. As you can see join a school and ESCP direct admission. You can find the guidelines, so with all the requirements are written here too, and the admission calendar. So as I told you before, not all the campuses have the same dates. So for example, I don't know, for example, Belgium is easy, but let's do something like Canada is managed by London or by Paris. Who knows? Let's see. I go to Canada. I pass it. Canada. Paris campus will be advising you. Okay, so the Canada is managed by Paris. Here you can find all the deadlines you're going to have. We have 4 different sessions. The fall session that actually ended the 22nd of October. And then we are going to have the other one in January, March, and May. I suggest you not to go, not to apply to the last, I mean, if you can, not to apply to the last juries, because it will be more competitive. We are going to have more students, and so it will be a little bit difficult, more difficult to be accepted, because it will be more competitive. Let's move on. Here you can find the apply button. Once you click on apply, you will be redirected to this page. If you already have your username and password, you can log in. If not, you can register. Once you click on register, you can fill all the information about you. Once you have done, you will be logged in the platform, and you can select the program you are interested in. But if you have some problems with your application process, don't hesitate to contact the campus who will manage your application. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to reply to some questions. There are a lot of them. So if we cannot reply to all the questions, to all the questions you have done, please don't hesitate to contact me or other colleagues by email. Okay. So I would like to know what are the typical profiles of admitted candidates and what are the key skills. Okay, so we don't have a typical profile, so we have different profiles. For example, a student that has good academic grades, who have done a work experience, an international experience, and or some extracurricular activities, who has, for example, a C1 level of English. It's a good candidate. I mean, obviously there is the GMAT, GRE, and the test, obviously, and the interview that will be a strong part in the application process. But just as a starting point, a profile like the one I told you, it's a good starting point. Okay. It doesn't matter the background you have. We can accept students from every backgrounds. So don't worry about it. Obviously for you, you will be more. You will have an easy life, a more easier life, actually, if you have a management background, obviously. But we will start from the basis. So even if you haven't done management before, you will have the possibility to attend this course. And you are going to have some catch-up courses during the summer that will give you the basis of management. So what about the SHL test? The SHL test is done after the application process. So it's not something that is that you must submit during the application as the GMAT or GRE. Okay, so really important, don't do the SHL before. We will contact you once your profile will be evaluated to do the SHL test. It will be kept online as the interview. So all the application process is conducted online. I just want to interrupt myself. I want to ask you guys like some advices to write and to do a strong interview or a strong application. Who want to start?
I can start first.
Yeah.
Just to
So you,
understand. Yeah,
just
go ahead, sorry.
some tips, I mean, because I'm reading a lot of question about it.
So some of the tips for the motivation letter that I can give you is, even if you are not quite sure at this point, what you want to do in the future, it's fine, but I'll suggest that at least have a basic rough idea about in which domain you want to enter into, so that you can talk about it in your essay, and then you can structure it in a way that says that, okay, I want to go into luxury marketing, for example. Then you can go into details that I see that ESCP has a specific specialization for luxury marketing. I also do your research. Like when you do your research, you'll see that that ESCP also has tie-ups with some partner companies that provide an opportunity for you uh, to work on them for live case projects, etc. So you can talk about that. Okay, ESCP has tie-up with, for example, L'Oreal, and then I get to work on a, a chair with them. I can get feedback from them, from the executives at L'Oreal. So this is why I want to join ESCP, and in order to do luxury marketing, this is what I have done so far. My background is this, and make sure you tie your previous experiences to what you want to achieve and how ECP can help you do that. In that way, you can form a very coherent essay, I would say.
Okay, thank you. And what about you, Kevin?
I very much agree with her, and I think it's just the same when I was drafting my cover letter. I really thought about what I did in the bachelor degree, like reviewing my whole life basically, and what got me into that position of writing the letter, with what I want to do, knowing. So basically, I try to find elements of all my experience, try to like weave them together into an experience that is highly related to what I want to do at ESCP. And for me, it was a little bit more lucky because I already knew what I wanted to do. I want to change industry, get into finance, and I try to like get some experience, like sorry, some elements from my previous experience that really kindle my interest for finance and put them into the motivational letter. And I try to like draw elements from my work experience, like jobs roles, to tell how what I learned from these jobs, so that I got more and more interested into finance. And at a certain point, I just decided to quit my job and just apply for ESCP. So it should like there is a momentum in my cover letter. And then I also spend quite a lot of time into searching what makes ESCP special. And you have to really sell it to be able, you have to tell like uh explain to yourself quite clearly how ESCP offers something that other business school cannot offer you. And then you put that into your story as well. I think like as long as you have like a very convincing story, that's how you get the offer to have an interview, I think. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you. We can go on with the questions. Okay. Do the reference letters need to be in English? It's better to have all the reference letter and documentation fully in English, okay? Do we have better chances if we apply in the first application session? As I told you before, generally it's better to apply before than later. I studied in English for 3 years in a non-English speaking country, and so no, it's not enough. Even if if you complete your IB program, it's not enough. So if you haven't done 3 years in English in an English speaking country, you must submit the English certification. Someone are asking me the percentages of the admission. So 40% is the CV, 30% is the interview, 20% is the English part, and 10% is the GMAT, GRE, or SHL. Is the interview only in English? The interview is can be done in English or in the local language. So, for example, in Turin, you can also do the interview in Italian if you want to. But yeah, the let's say the common language is the English language. Is the online GMAT less recognized than the in-person version? No, all the GMAT or the IELTS, for example, online, they will be accepted without any problems. If I'm going to take the Taj Mahal, but my results aren't good. Do I still have a chance of getting an interview? If you have done a bad test, before applying, maybe it's better to contact directly the recruiter. So before applying, contact the recruiter and ask them if the test it's okay, it's enough to apply to the program. If not, probably it's better to retake the test. How can I prepare for the SHL online test? So on the official ESCP page, so sorry, the SHL page, you can find the information. So I'm going to share another time my screen, and I'll show you how the page is. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry if I cannot reply to all the questions, but we have more than 60, 70 questions. It's impossible. Okay, so if you still have some question, please you can ask them in the chat or in the one-to-one meetings later on we have today, or send an email to me, to my colleagues. Okay. Okay. Digital test. The test is divided into two different parts, the deductive and the numerical part. Okay. This is the page. You can find you can select the language. You can also do it in French or in Italian or in English. And here you will find some tests you can do, like I put it in English. Where is it? Here. You can do some tests. Remember to do the mobile enable interactive part. Okay, so you will find some tests here. And the part you have to do is the deductive and the numerical. Okay. Let's go again to the question you have. Does the January application ends on the 16th or it start the day? It ends the 16th of January. So you still have the 16th, so it's still available as the day until before midnight. Okay, so the last day you'll see it's still valid. It's still valid. It's still valid. Yeah. Um, I'm Italian, so I need to do my application with the Turin campus. If I do the SHL in Turin, can I do my first semester in Paris? Absolutely yes. The campus that recruits you is not the campus where you must study for the first semester. So it's not mandatory. They are not linked. Application and admission application and campus rotation are not linked together. So if you are examined from Paris, then you can study in Turin, for example, without any problem. I will be applying from India. My medium of instruction in school and college has been in English. Do I still have to apply with the to apply with the IELTS? Yes, because India is not an English-speaking country. So I can do it for example, this is the case I was telling you before. I am French. I'm studying I'm doing a full exchange year program in Madrid. So it means that I need to specify that I reside in Madrid for the application. Yes, because even if you are French but studying in Madrid, you will be examined by Madrid campus. So yes. For the motivational letter, you mentioned a maximum length of 1 page, but if I understood correctly, you also said 200 words. Yeah, so the essay you have to write are in the application process. So you're going to have 3 essays, one on your work experience, international, and one on your extracurricular activities. Those parts are in the application process. Instead, and it's like a little field of 200 words. Instead, regarding the motivational letter, it's not more than 1 page, but it's another document. Do I have to translate my CV in English before to upload it? Yeah, it's better. It's better to have all your documents fully in English. Okay. I'm receiving a lot of questions that are not strictly regarding to the admission, so I can't reply to them. I mean, I can, but we don't have time. Can I request for a one-to-one profile evaluation? If you're not sure if you are eligible for the program or if you want to address us some question, yes, you can send the CV and the question you have to the right campus, and we will reply you. Is volunteering or freelancing considered as work experience? I mean, volunteering is not, is like extracurricular activity. Freelancing, yes, because it's considered as a work. How much time does it take to answer? Guys, if you have sent an email like 1-2 days ago and you didn't receive a reply, it's quite normal. So you must wait a little bit for an answer. Okay, so don't worry about that. We receive all the emails, but we have a lot of requests. So so please wait a little bit. Okay. Average of the GMAT score. I suggest you, we don't have really a minimum score, but I suggest you to obtain a score from 565 from, okay, starting from. The IELTS required is the academic one. Yes, is the academic. And we can also accept the online one. Sorry, guys. We don't have we don't have time. We replied almost to 70 questions, both written and here live. I'm sorry, the webinar will end in 1 minute because I'm going to have other meetings during the day. So please, if you have any question, and actually I'm totally sure we didn't reply to all the doubts you may have, so don't hesitate to send us an email, okay? You have all the contacts. I can share them once again. So the contacts are those one, okay? You can find them here. So don't hesitate to address us the question you have. And obviously try to contact the campus you will be examined by, okay? So they can follow you better. Thank you for the attention. Thank you to the two student ambassador. Thank you for your time. And I think they can contact you on LinkedIn maybe if they have some questions, or if they have doubts, they can use your LinkedIn.
Sure, of course. You can contact us after this webinar as well in the one-on-one meeting booth, or you can come chat with us on
Okay.
LinkedIn, or we also can also share our email address if you want.
Okay, yeah, but I think everybody will receive a recap email at the end of the entire open day, so they will have all the contacts and everything. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.